Hi everyone, this is Adrian at 18 Echo SF. I decided to make a new video with me in front of the camera instead of behind the camera. I hope that doesn't scare any of you off. I've only made one other video with me being shown during the video. It was to recommend a few gun-related books that I just loved. However, I decided to do this so I could show you my newest gun buy, which is a Colt model 1991-1911, a Combat Commander, a gun that I've wanted for a long time. I love 4-inch platform guns. They're my preference, even though I've owned a number of 5-inch guns. As I have said previously, I don't collect guns. I buy guns to use them, and I normally have two of my own around, and my wife also is a shooter, and she has her 5-inch Kimber 1911 and 9mm, a really beautiful handgun. But I've always wanted to buy a Combat Commander and have it for personal use. You know, I have a history of military sidearms in 1911s, and I always loved them. And was always able to keep them running pretty well. So I decided to buy another new gun. I'll show it to you. And here's my beautiful new Combat Commander. I'll clear the weapon just so you know that it is empty. Okay, so it's all steel, black frame and slide, of course. Has a combat hammer, most of you are probably aware. The small safety, which works for me since I had to have part of my thumb amputated a year ago. And just 2 days ago, I replaced the, I'm going to bring it down here so you can see it, well, it was not a beaver tail, the grip safety, the stock grip safety with a Wilson Combat drop-in beaver tail. Pretty much drop-in, it needs a little bit of fitting, but not very much. Anyway, and it just works beautifully, and you can probably see this. It's a really nice addition to the gun. You know, it has standard white dot sights, which I'm going to leave alone. You know, these sights are, well, the front sight is staked in place, so I'd have to have the slide machine to put any of the additional sights in, and I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to leave this just kind of the way it is, and this will be almost an everyday gun for me. So I want to tell you the story about getting this gun because it was kind of weird what happened. I've bought almost all of my guns here in California from my local gun store, which is a gun range as well as a gun store. And I've been very loyal to them, and I have bought quite a number of handguns over the past 10 or 11 years. However, I had to buy a Springfield Armory mil-spec gun, my 5-inch gun that I had, online because there was like a 1-year waiting period. And I really didn't want to wait a year to get a gun. So I had dealt on gunbroker.com at that time, and I decided to check again, and I happened to find this gun on Gunbroker. And an FFL in Orange County, California, not too far from me, about 55 miles, had the gun advertised, and the price was good. I was even able to negotiate a slightly better price, not that much better, but that part didn't really matter to me that much. I really wanted this gun. So I went up to see the gun, and I was at his place probably 40 minutes, and I completely checked the gun over. Everything was fine. I mean, I examined it and manipulated the slide and trigger, and everything seemed really good, and visually it was flawless. So I filled out my paperwork for my background check. Here in California, there's a 10-day wait, so I had to leave the gun with him, and he keeps all of his guns in dehumidified safes. He has quite a few guns. So I went back 10 days later to pick the gun up. He brings the gun out of the safe, takes it out of the case, and hands it to me. And he wants me, of course, to do a handgun safety check to make sure, you know, it's required here in California. So, at least the first time you buy a gun from someone, usually after that they don't ask you to do it. But I did the safety check for him, and so I had the gun, of course, in my hand for about another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And I'm looking at the gun completely, and I'm looking straight down at the slide, and everything seemed fine. So we finalized our transaction, and put the gun in the trunk of my car, left, and I drove down the coast in California to my home, 55 miles away. And when I got home, I brought the gun into my garage, into the workbench, and I set it here, and went in and had lunch. And when I was done, I came back out, and I took the gun out of the case. So total, from the time I left his place to when I got back here, maybe 2.5, 3 hours went by. And I took the gun out of the case, and I'm looking at the gun, just going over it. I was getting ready to field strip it, to clean it. And I'm looking down on the top of the slide, and completely around the front sight, a complete square around the front sight, was about an 1/8" white square. And I'm thinking, how could I possibly have not seen that? And I didn't even know what caused it, actually. So I was eventually, through a couple of guys nice guys on the 1911 forum that I go to periodically, they put me in touch with a really great tech at Colt, who explained the situation. He sent a UPS call tag for the gun. They picked it up, and he got the gun back to me very quickly. But because I had to send it back because I was having an issue also with the slide stop not wanting to go back into place after being field stripped. And I've had many 1911s, not just military, but civilian as well. And so I'm well familiar with the process for getting the slide stop back into the frame properly. And when I tried, the first time I tried to do this, it took at least 10 minutes, which was really exasperating for sure. And I didn't quite know why. And they actually did wind up replacing that slide stop. It may have been cut just a little raw, that it wouldn't kind of go past the plunger spring. So that was that problem. But then the white square around the gun had to do with bleaching salts that were leaching out from the metal of the gun. And I believe what caused it was the difference in humidity from his dehumidified safes that the gun was kept in the entire time until I picked it up, and me coming down the California coast with the humidity changing, and the atmosphere kind of affected the metal in the gun and caused that white square. And he said the reason, the Colt tech said, the reason it happened was when they prepared the gun at Colt, they just didn't wash this section of the gun very well and scrub that off. And that is how you correct it. He explained to me, you just get some oil and a brush and you scrub that, and it will take it away and remove those bluing salts. But anyway, but the gun, as you can see right now, and I hope it's in focus, this is perfect now when I got it back. And they got it back to me very quick. I was very, very happy. So this is a gun that will be almost my primary gun. We have a difficult time here in California getting carry permits. It's kind of hit or miss, and it has to do with the county you live in. Every county is different. Some areas of California are more easy to get carry permits. I live in San Diego County, which is just almost impossible. I've never actually applied for a CCW here because I don't want the refusal on my record for any reason. So I've just decided to wait until the political climate changes a little bit here in this state for carry permits, or until my wife and I leave California, which could be down the road just a little bit, and we may move back to Pennsylvania. So anyway, which is a very gun-friendly state. Even though it's more a democratic state, it's still pretty gun-friendly. So anyway, this gun is a beautiful gun. It handles beautifully. It feels fantastic in the hand. I love the all-steel frame. I'm getting ready to go to another defensive handgun course. I've been through quite a bit of military firearms training. I am former United States Army Special Forces, and so I have a gun background. I'm just an old guy now, and you know, those skills that I had as a young man are difficult to keep up and replicate as a civilian. So going to handgun training schools really, I think, is a major plus and is extremely helpful to keep you aware of everything that's going on around you on a constant basis, and keeping your skills up on whatever handgun platform you choose. I choose 1911s. I'm an enthusiast for 1911s. My guns run beautifully. I wouldn't use them if they did not. I want this thing to go bang every single time I pull the trigger with you know, a very, very small chance of any malfunctions. Both of my handguns, my Kimber Pro Carry, stainless Pro Carry in a 4-inch gun, and this gun as well, they are just wonderful. I've had this gun at the range. I fired, went 2 different days, fired 50 rounds each day, not one single malfunction. The gun is very, very accurate, and I just love this. So I'm actually going to, the last handgun course I took, I actually used my Kimber. I'm going to take the Colt. This one, it's in late September. I'm really looking forward to that. I have a Raven concealment holster on its way. It's in the process of being manufactured as we speak, so I'm hoping to have it within a month or so, and I'm really looking forward to that. I've used Blade Tech holsters on the civilian side almost exclusively, and I've really loved those guns. But I did see some videos with 2 trainers, Travis Haley and Chris Costa, and they spoke really highly of the Raven concealment holsters. And I have some friends who are currently on active duty in Special Forces, as well as some former SF friends who are operators on the civilian side now, and they use Ravens. So I decided to give it a try. So I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, the gun is beautiful, and I'll try to just come up so you can kind of, you know, see the gun, and hopefully it's displaying properly. I don't mean to point the gun at you, so I should have come under the screen. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's really beautiful. I also, my birthday's coming up, and I'm going to have a new set of VZ grips. I use the Elite Tactical model, Elite Tactical Carry model. I have a set on my Kimbers. I absolutely love that grip, and my son is going to, he was nice enough to buy me those grips last Christmas for the Kimber, and now I'm going to get a set for this gun as well. And that'll be pretty much all that I do to the gun. Everything else is going to basically stay stock, and this gun is just going to be used for shooting, and I'll put my money into ammunition, so which we all should do. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the gun, and seeing the gun, I'm sorry, and we'll kind of keep you abreast of you know, what happens as I shoot this over the next few months, and particularly after I come back from this additional handgun course that I'm going to be attending. So stay well and safe out there.